Okay, here we go.
All right, lift off.
Lift off, blast off, let's go. All right, well, for everybody watching, welcome. This is the Deep Breaths with Danielle Bryan show. And I got some homies.
It's true.
Some homies together. We're here at Epicenter Indy today.
It's true.
And so grateful because this conversation is kind of starting a snowball for me personally. I know you both are in huge creation chapters also. So just a very like off the jump invitation for all of us to keep leaning in and starting and just starting. So yeah, first interview of this way, of this style. And I'm excited with these two. So with me today, I have Sarah Boutwell, the vulnerability queen. She is okay, if I could just let me just put language for each of y'all. So Sarah is she's a connector. She's a community builder. She's a visionary when it comes to safety and the journey that we're all kind of on for establishing safety within ourselves, within our bodies, within communities. And yeah, just a very beautiful space holder. And I get to be a part of your space holding in like 6 weeks at Camp Connected. So yeah, we're gonna do a vulnerability circle.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you.
I'm already preparing. I can't wait.
Yeah. And then I got my tough mudder, my tough mudder partner in strength. It's worse than the hair here. Ariela McKenzie, the coach Ari, on Instagram. And okay, if I could give some language around what you do, I mean, you are the deliverer of that safety. And I think that's how you guys work very well together. You have this innate just grounded calmness within you that gives all of us permission to chill out, to chat. Like I'm up here like trying to run to the next obstacle. It's just to go and Ariela's like making besties with these cute old guys like walking
from Kentucky.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you're a teacher for me in like what's most important sometimes, which is connection. Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you
For being you. Yeah, so this conversation today really is, we are sitting inside of this really cool manifestation that we all have had a part in. I've had a small role in, but I just love how all of this has happened. So I would like to just start. My first question is just to have kind of each of you speak to your individual journey, like leading up to this now manifestation, like running a wellness center, putting your wellness offerings out there on a bigger level, like just speak, maybe in some bullets of like what led you to this manifestation. Let's start here. Yeah.
Me first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I mean, honestly, I have to start with 2020, which I feel like was a lot of people's popping off point to where they're at now and where they have always wanted to go in life. That was my year of permission to myself that I didn't have to go back to the restaurant industry after 20 years, because why would I at that point? I just didn't feel safe, just didn't want to. And I had been doing photography for almost as long, so like 17 years at that point, and it was always on the back burner. Never had the confidence to go out full time and think that that was going to be a sustainable thing. And then I also had this art nonprofit that I had started in 2015 that I was 5 years into and hadn't really given it the time and attention that it deserved. So I decided to not go back in July of 2020 and just focus on those two things. And that opened the world to everything I'm doing now. It's really crazy how it all unfolded, to be honest. I decided I didn't want to do photography of everything anymore. I mean, I had done dance photography, weddings, babies, all the things. And I just really wanted to focus on something that was intentional and that meant something to me. And so I really was focused for a while there in 2020 and 2021 writing my book.
Mhm.
Still not published,
Mhm.
but it could happen at any time, you know? It's gonna. And that entailed just talking about some of my childhood sexual trauma and ways that I was able to get through that. And a huge way I was able to get through that was the women in my world as an adult being a huge support system.
Mhm.
And I wanted to honor these women that had really just inspired me to keep going, who were absolute badasses in their own right, but that had just made such a huge impact on my life. So
Yep, there's a there's a baby here.
But okay, everyone's here. This
So
is village in real time. We
Yes,
just keep
yes.
going and doing what we need to do with the
Yep.
littles because they, need to be around all of this.
This is a huge
And
part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this
Yes.
journey of
Um,
like really like giving yourself permission to find alignment in like all
Yes.
areas.
Yes. So I
Yeah.
started doing photo sessions that were capturing these women, but I was talking about this trauma part of it and then realizing, oh shit, you've been through a same thing or similar.
Yeah.
And then realizing, oh my God, like my best friend doesn't even know this shit went down in my
Mhm.
life. Like, and we've been friends for 20 plus years. And so what are we really talking about if
Mhm.
we're actually connecting? And so it just kept bringing up layers and layers of why aren't we really being vulnerable
Mhm.
on a regular basis? So my photography ended up being trauma-informed women empowerment
Yeah.
photography sessions, and that led to doing group sessions and seeing how amazing it was for a group of women to come into a space and not know each other when they walk in, but then leave literally feeling like they have family and a genuine support system,
Mhm.
and that just opened up a whole nother world to retreats and partnering with really awesome wellness facilitators that do really special fucking work.
Mhm.
Through all that I was led to you and led to you, and
Mhm.
now we're here. Now we're here with a real physical space in real time in our city, able to do what we do, starting from the inside and letting it flow outward.
Mhm.
And that feels really, really good to me. So
Amazing. Yeah, that vulnerability piece, like it's so huge how so many of us, and I can just speak from like a woman's lens, but I think this is probably in men too, but like the conditioning is to like keep everything internal and
yeah.
like handle it all internally or shove it down somewhere and don't speak to it, don't even give it any air. And I know, yeah, throughout my entire journey of holding space for women, it's like once you can just like stop letting it live as the scary monster inside of you and like detach your somatic body from certain events, you just open a window to huge transformation. And I love that it's all kind of like culminating for you, for both of you, like here in a physical space so we can focus on our in-person communities right now. It's really cool because Ari and Sarah were at the last class that I had at the Illumination Wellness Center. And it was like a year ago to the date that I came back here with you two as as the owners of this space. And you see a lot in the healing space and spiritual space, like everybody's kind of floating around, doing their own thing. But this is a space where, there's a win for anybody and everybody that wants to offer something here, which is why I love how it's been set up. So yeah, Ari, share with us what led you to this. And I'm gonna go peek at this boy, make sure he landed back over here. But share with us what landed you. Okay, he's going. Okay. Yeah. I miss it.
Just a quick peek. You're good.
Hashtag mom life.
Oh, he saw you peek. It's the Cairo show.
Yeah,
The best
exactly.
show ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to decide how like far back, but I feel like it goes back to like
keep going.
like, you know, a little bit of my story with being in the bodybuilding world and in the fitness space, and we have that in common. But yeah, so I had wanted to open a gym. Like, I went to college for exercise science, had my minor in entrepreneurship. I wanted to open a space and run a gym and all that. And then I worked in a gym and I was personal training and working around bodybuilders and all that, and bodybuilding myself, and was like, this is not it. like I was like, my coach and her husband were both like talking about how they developed this body dysmorphia from bodybuilding, and I'm like, this is not
The
what
path,
I like. I don't think I want to follow that path. So at the same time, like, the emotional ups and downs, because your body's going through I was putting my body through a shit ton, like bodybuilding. And I was living with my dad, and him and I were like butting heads in ways that we never had before. So I just got this, like, I got in this space where I was like, I need healing. My dad needs healing. We all need healing. Like, I was like, I need some more balance and healing. And that was like what I was being drawn towards. So that led to a connection with a woman who I ended up working for and with for like 6 years in the corporate wellness space, and like also took my yoga teacher training with her. And yeah, it's always one connection leads to another. Like, so yeah, I got to explore what it looked like to coach and find balance for myself in my wellness journey in that space, which was really cool. And then in teaching yoga, aerial yoga, I met Savvy, who is a mutual friend of ours. And I just, after class one day, she was like, I think you would be interested in this meditation teacher training that I'm doing. Let me give you Danielle's number. So she just gave me your number, and we chatted and connected. And I think I drove to Terre Haute before you had opened the wellness center. But you had, I don't know what you had an open house of some sort.
Probably something.
And so like we stayed connected, and you gave me the first retreat I ever went on was one that you invited me to facilitate at. And I was like, whoa, this is cool.
Was that Washington?
Yeah, that was in Seattle. Yeah.
I was just like, you're coming to the forests of Washington with us.
And I was ready for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the journey continued, coaching and me pursuing more healing for myself. I think 2021 was the year that I like started my meditation practice and like diving deeper into that and like spending so much time by myself.
I was what else were we gonna
Literally, so much time by myself. Which like in turn led to like a breakup. 2 years ago. So I mean, just growing and learning myself and learning what I want and don't want, and like the little puzzle pieces. Like, even back when I was personal training, I had this vision of having like a space where all the things are, right? I'm like more whole. I didn't know it was a wellness center. Like, I didn't have the verbiage for like a holistic wellness center. But I was like, I want a space where people can come and like just be well and have all the services from me and other people who can like give them what they need to feel good in their bodies. In all of the ways, like physically, mentally, emotionally, in all the ways. So
it's so cool how like equipped we get along the way to do certain things and contribute, you know, like when we're in it, sometimes it's like, how is this gonna like contribute to the greater mission or my path, or but it always does, like, and we're always like circling back to things. I'm learning in this like new expanded version of ourselves, like we return back to these parts of ourselves.
Beautiful spiral.
It is like definitely not linear. I've been going down so many rabbit holes on the spiral, like how like life exists as this spiral, and we exist as this spiral if we choose to like hook into that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. And I
And just
think,
let it be.
yeah, the cool thing about this family, like this global community and family that we're all a part of, is that like everyone has had these like benchmark moments in their lives. And that's why I call them like you in the fitness world. It was for me in the fitness world too. When I did my fitness competition, I was like, these women are being like so unkind to themselves, like, and they look amazing, and they're sitting here like still harping on themselves. And you see the pressure, so much pressure for women right now for this outer aesthetic. And I think so many of us, we know like deep down, like, oh, like there's like some inner things
Yeah.
that maybe could happen that could lead us to like feeling a different way about ourselves,
Yeah.
our health, all of it. So the cool thing is when you get around enough women that are on that path, that's why the retreats are so powerful, is that it just like you kind of just get like shoved onto yours, and it can be kind of jarring if you're not like ready, because
Right.
so many women communities are rooted in that, you know, separation program or
Yeah.
that competition program, and like none of that exists in like the communities that we are a part of. And I just think it's really cool. So I love that we have very similar journey with the fitness
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. I remember connecting with you about it. Like the first, I just voice note messages back and forth and being like, oh, look, like,
Yeah.
yeah. It was
And
cool.
then you came to Washington and taught in that majestic yurt.
Yeah.
That was so
Yeah.
cool.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. But yeah. And then ended up here through a connection through you. So
Yeah.
it's always my
It is.
always my network.
And I wouldn't even know you if it wasn't for my art world, because
Yeah.
I had followed, you know, your partner first in his art, and
Yeah.
then we found each other.
We just
through
like had
that. And
coffee.
so yeah.
We just met for coffee, and you were like, I am expanding and it's scary, but I'm going somewhere.
Right, because it's always looked like this, but
Mm-hmm.
now,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So met you at the perfect time, I guess.
What an adventure.
For real though.
This life is.
Yeah, so we met, you know, we kind of came to this 2024 year, which 2024 feels like a huge like building year. Like that's what Lindsay and I keep saying. Like
Mhm.
Lindsay and I with the Medicine Connective, you know, partnerships are so cool, which is why I love your guys' partnership. Two manifesting generators, just like you guys complement each other so well, like you mirror each other so well. And that's Lindsay and I, like in our partnership with the Medicine Connective. And like when you can find those, I don't know if you guys are finding this, but like you find that person that you can work alongside and build with, it's like very fulfilling. It's very fulfilling to know, like to not do it all alone.
Oh my
But
God, there's no way.
yeah.
There's
So
no way.
how did it all like come about? Like how did, and what was the timeline? Like how long did it take? Like when did the initial like, oh, we may work together, to, oh, we may own a whole damn business together?
Right. Yeah, no. I feel like it was just a blink and we were like, oh fuck, we're about to take over this whole business. But
Yeah.
real talk, Ari had come to one of my bow retreats last May, so a little over a year ago. And we all just fell in love with her energy so much that I had asked her to like, I was already wanting her to come co-facilitate at a upcoming retreat, whatever, whichever one that was going to be. And so we already wanted to work together. And she ended up saying, hey, do you want to do an event here? Let's collaborate. And this was July, yeah, I guess a year ago, just a little over a year ago, we did our first community event together, called Emanate Indy. And that was really super special for us. It came together very just divinely and organically through a need that had kept coming up. And that was males approaching either one of us, you know, respective
Yeah.
to the work that we do, and saying, when are you going to offer space for men?
Yeah.
And we're like, they exist. Like,
That was so cool. You guys had each modality. So the breath work, the
Mhm.
yoga, like you had talks, and there was a
Reiki,
male and
mental
female
health,
Yeah.
facilitator, like in
that
each one.
collaborated.
That was
Yeah.
really cool. And I
Yeah.
loved leading the breath work.
And
I
so
was
it
like,
opened up space for literally everyone to feel like they could come out and be poured into. And that was really powerful. I think over 60 people showed up.
It's a big event.
Yeah, it was great and it was free and that just felt so good, but
Mhm.
we didn't know what that meant moving forward or what that was going to turn into, and had been asked a lot by a variety of sources, when's the next emanate going to happen?
Mhm.
And it just didn't happen. Life was happening. So fast forward to, I guess, September of last year, Camp Connected. We both ended up being there down at your retreat.
Gonna
And
say.
so was
Meg,
the
yeah.
previous owner of this space, the founder of this space. And it was really magical to just have a special connection with her. I ended up down at the water with her inadvertently when her little baby girl decided to have her diaper explode. So there we were bathing a baby in the lake together, and it was just really cute and adorable. And,
she's so
just an immediate, like, you could tell it was just an immediate support system that was going to be there for a while. And I just fell in love with her and her daughter's energy. And so that was just a really great connection. And then fast forward a few months, I was sick all of January at the beginning of this year, damn near all of January. And I kept being told to unify my passions, talk about the spiral.
Mhm.
And I didn't know what the hell that meant because why was I in the restaurant industry for 20 years and actually really fucking good at it and really
Hospitality.
enjoy
Mhm.
it? Just I don't want to serve another table again. So what does that mean? Why was I doing the art nonprofit and then also now in this wellness world and still doing my photography, but not really in the art lane anymore. And how did it all make sense and fit together? And my body was like fighting itself.
Mhm.
I'm assuming is why I was sick for so long. And I was in the middle of this really just overwhelming grant that we had gotten. And doing work that I had really never signed up to do and was like, this is not for me. So all that being said, I literally had a dream in January towards the end of my sickness when I forced myself to lay down and take a damn nap.
Mhm.
And it was a very vivid vision of whatever this future space I'm supposed to have looks like.
Mhm.
And it was huge.
Mhm.
And it was beautiful and it was here in Indy, but it was everything. It was literally all of my passions put together in one space. And the list could go on, but I won't get into that today. I woke up having no clue how the hell that was going to happen or what was going to lead to what to make that bigger vision happen, but it felt solidified in my soul, like this is going down. And 3 days later, I got a call from Meg,
Mhm.
the previous owner, and she says, I have a surprise for you. And Ari happened to be on three-way. She says, I want to sell my business. I can't think of anyone else other than the two of you that I would want to keep my baby flourishing. So it was an immediate jaw drop. It was an immediate cry. It was an immediate, oh my God, that's the next step. That's, literally has to be the next step for the bigger vision that I saw. Yeah, within 3 days, it made sense to me. So it was a yes, even not knowing how the hell we were going to do it, come up with the capital or like any of the things. I didn't know how to run a wellness center. It was not on my radar to be like, I'm gonna get a wellness center this year. Nah, like I was still like really focused on the nonprofit, the art life, because that is what had been feeding me monetarily for, the past year. And the idea of getting into a brand new business where I didn't know what stability meant was like terrifying. I've been a single mom for a long, long time now. So there's all of the human things that go through your brain, but you have to say yes.
The human things,
Yeah.
alongside all these magical things.
Correct.
That is what we are learning how to hold both and not forget about the human things and not pretend that they're not there. Like,
Yeah.
and there's like some super codes that can be cracked. Especially as we say yes and we find that alignment. Like think so many of us are being like navigated towards alignment, but it's not necessarily gonna feel good or be comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, can we help you?
It's like,
I just can't be here with you. This is the life, y'all. This is real life. Do you need milk again?
just the cord.
So I'm gonna keep going because we'll at least have the audio. And you'll see me popping in and off.
Stuff. Mom things
In
happening.
and off of the screen. And this dress is not a breastfeeding dress, so they've seen my,
Sexy
naked
man.
body. Yeah, you think that's funny.
Stinker.
So I would love to know next, like, Sarah, you just spoke to like the challenges, like some of them, right? And no one will ever know like what we go through when we make a big decision like this. Like, but that's part of the hero's journey because it's not everybody's, job to experience the things we experience. But I know that it was full of challenges and full of beauty. So I would love to know, Ari, what is your current lesson that you're learning right now? Like, what is a theme for you right now in your journey of this partnership, this yin yang partnership? What's your current like lesson and teaching that you're learning?
I feel like there are a couple lessons. But it's the balance of like the balance of work between us and also leaning into like each of our strengths and this and what we're doing together. And so just you lead a room very well and like can stir up emotions in a crowd. Like you really, but it's great. It's a superpower. It's a superpower that I'm like, I can do really well in like a one-on-one. But
you're a great coach.
And I can teach. I can like, this is how you do things. And so just leaning into that in this partnership and being like, all right, this is Sarah's thing. Okay, wait, I think this is my thing.
Yeah, right.
And like,
being able to shift and move when we feel like, ooh, that wasn't my thing. Or like, can you help me with this thing? Or
asking for support.
Not
being afraid to ask for support. Okay, so what's next? What comes next? What are you guys feeling into? What's ahead for Epicenter? Just speak to what you guys are cooking.
Ooh, yeah. Oh my God, we're baking. We're baking away right now. What are we baking? So many things. A lot of warmth. Baking. Anyway.
Ooh, there's a whole rebrand happening.
That's really what I'm talking about. I was trying to find a clever way to say it, but
oh my bad, I just said it.
No, you're good. So we're literally in the process of rebranding this beautiful space from its founder's name of Epicenter, which is beautiful. It's literally the source, and so many people have described this place as a beacon. So it is that. But because our original collaboration together was Emanate Indy, and now we have this space that we can make our own, we feel very led to rebrand it to Emanate Indy because our goal is to be the space that flows from the source. So we want everyone that leaves this space to like leave with the vibration of everything we love about Indy, which is freaking joy and resilience and diversity and community, all of those things. And so we just want those frequencies to flow out into the city from this space. So Emanate makes the most sense for us.
The whole point of the healing journey and spiritual journey is to share it, like, and to serve from this place. So I love that it's changing to that.
Fun thing about Emanate, I keep like the word emanate for our event like literally came to me in a meditation last year when we were thinking about
Yeah, that's
like
all her.
what to call
This
the event that we were doing.
event.
And like the words let it emanate like came. And I was like, okay, what about that? What about
Yeah.
emanate Indy?
That's so cool. And am I correct in that the first time you guys met was at our Indian food lunch?
Yes.
Oh my
It's
gosh,
true
I love
story.
that.
Yeah.
Blessings for
And
Indian food
Meg.
lunches. Yeah. Yeah.
And you've been like you and your all your manifester
You're
gifts
good.
you're
Yeah.
initiating.
She's so good.
That's been like really the beginning of a lot of things for me because I met Sarah.
Yeah.
Well, I met Sarah and Meg at the same time
Mhm.
to a lunch that you invited us all to,
Mhm.
and then I kind of re-met them like when I asked you about people to collaborate with here and was like
Oh,
connected with both
yeah.
of them.
Cool.
So I was talking about the event with both of you guys, and then I rode with Meg to
Camp
Camp
Connected.
Connected, and that
That's
was that
cool.
connection point that even got me in the door here to like support her in the event stuff here
Mhm.
until she was like, I can't do this anymore and I want to sell my business.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it was whoa, and then it was here.
It is just a reminder for all of us and everybody listening, like, so the people, mostly women who are usually attracted to my illumination work is like, all of y'all are driven. Everybody that comes to this platform is up to something. You have dreams, you're getting after it. And, sometimes you can even be like your own biggest critic when it comes to like this
Yeah.
path and standing up for your
Mhm.
dreams. And so, like, let Ari and Sarah's story be a reminder that you are never, ever, we are never alone. And sometimes it's as simple as like getting Indian food with your homies and surrendering
Yeah.
to let the whole next wave and chapter of your life open up. It does not have to be as complicated as sometimes our human wants to make it. Like, and I say this fresh off of, I shared this before we started, being like so hard on myself just last night for my journey. Like, it can be very easy to forget right now. And like, let's all make sure we remember to keep the people near us that like, who they won't forget when we do. Like, I know I can call, like, and I did yesterday, like, message Lindsay. It's like, I feel like I'm failing or whatever. And she's like, no, like, and she'll just hold that not forgetting when I do. So like keep those people close to you, all of us. Like, let's all prioritize that going forth. Cause I don't know that like the outside world is gonna get less chaotic, like the collective. Like I think there's gonna be like probably even more chaos coming. But and with inside of that, like so much peace and strength can be found within these experiences and communities and practices. So yeah, thank you both for just being on your path, because I know that shit ain't easy. It is not, but it's really cool to do it together. So yeah, thank you. Emanate Indy is coming, and I'm helping these ladies with their fall equinox event. So
Where
please,
will be, shown to the world.
Mhm.
And we will be us fully.
Let's just speak it now. The date and the time.
9:21.
Okay, 9:21
It's true.
in the evening.
Evening or
Nah, because we're actually doing
Afternoon.
a whole little like take over the corner here
Yeah.
in Bates Hendricks neighborhood.
Yes.
Partnering with oh, he needs his tablet back
No,
on.
we're almost
guys.
done.
Okay. We gotta keep Cyberman happy. But we're actually partnering Danielle with the community coffee shop. Community center.
also community center.
Right.
Lincoln Lane. It's like right next door.
Yes, it's just a few doors down
Yeah.
from us. And the esthetician studio that's across the street from them. And we're all going to open up our doors as like an open house style thing. And so people know that there's multiple things here on this corner that they can come enjoy. So it's actually going to be a 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. type
Yes.
situation. Yeah.
I remember
So
now.
they can enjoy some coffee.
So good.
You know.
Okay, fam, well, come out, see us. I'm sure there may be, can we live stream pieces of it? Because we're doing some like
Absolutely.
a group meditation and stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe for our non-local fam, you guys can come.
Oh,
Because I know
yeah,
when I did that for
absolutely.
elimination, that was cool. Like people could,
Yeah, it's a good idea.
yeah, and do
Yeah.
like a blessing and send out some
Would love that.
some good energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, love you
Yeah.
guys.
Love you.
Yeah,
Thanks for having
should we take a
us.
big breath in together? We'll just
Yeah.
take a big
Yeah.
inhale together. And we'll let it go. And let's all do that one more again. Then we'll let it go. All right. I'm gonna not so sexy crawl to the thing, and I'm gonna stop recording. Love y'all so much. We'll see you next time on Deep Breaths with
Yeah.
Danielle, Brian.
Yeah.